Today is Tuesday, January 29th, 2019. I'm here in Quincy, Massachusetts, in front of the parish that I grew up going to until I was almost 9 years old. That's where I had my first communion. This is St. John the Baptist on School Street. And I'm here because it's a very interesting kind of personal prop from which to talk about some of the other things. But some of you may like to know that I started going here in, 1962 when I was a kid, and kids don't remember anything. And the Mass was still in Latin at the time. It changed shortly thereafter. They talked funny. I guess that's what my mother told me that my comment about it was. I'm here today because I had some even reports and odd reports that some things have happened in Mecca at the Kaaba. For those of you unfamiliar with Mecca, look it up online. It's the spot where everybody heads for the pilgrimage. 3 statues were put there by the Sufi Houri and my friend Cobra. Yeah, I've been working off and on over the last 25 years with various angels. Good ones, bad ones. They fight me, they work with me. It's co-opetition sometimes it's called, or frenemies. Sometimes I have friends and sometimes they ain't. Things have changed. 3 statues. This first one that went in, I ain't gonna say what that is. The second one was Augustus Caesar, and the third one was Muhammad. 1, 2, and 3. That's a message. It's all out of marble, not gold. Unlike the colossi that nobody ever talks about being colossi in existence. Let me back up just a little bit. I mean, I could talk for hours, but I'm not going to name names. And we've had a number of people working on religious, spiritual issues for the last 2 years, a little over 2 years since we were thinking seriously about having a conference in Yalta that I was going to go to. We're going to sit down and kind of start it. But basically it's integrating the different religions. Things have changed. 20 years ago there were things that happened, never made the paper yet, never made any religious dogmas or what we call as pronouncements of any kind. That'll change, and it's very different up in the celestial sphere, which sometimes intersects here with the ground, where I get some of my odd messages from, delivered in the even, of course, because that's where I am. I will say that we're on the verge of a number of very large announcements about a number of different things, and they'll be coming out forthwith within the next month or so. It'll really start to begin. But I suspect with what's happened around the Kaaba, oddly, it's in a slightly different subdimension. Some people can see it and some people can't. It's a question of, quote, faith, unquote. But there are people who can take pictures of it with single lens photography, and that's being done right now. Good luck to everybody, and keep in touch. Let me know what you need to have come out of my mouth. I'll try to speak as little as I possibly can, except for to acknowledge certain events until we can all sit down and figure out what it is we're going to do. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Let me add one more point here. It's just kind of a secular point and kind of not. It has to do with how brains work. If you make a bet, then you buy into whatever the reality is. I made a bet today. Actually, I made a contribution to the Islamic Center through a third party today. Like I do everything these days, third parties, in Washington. Betting on who the next 2 statues are going to be that show up. My first bet is Kubla Khan. The next one is Ali. For reasons I've described elsewhere. That's the bet. You give a contribution, and if the houri are gonna be nice to you and you win the bet, you don't get money back. They don't carry money around. You get their blessings, whatever those are.